much on a weekly basis, we meet you in an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to transform, an opportunity to see things a new way, an opportunity to have the physical incarnation you're experiencing be experienced in a different way. Something new, something unique. And we encourage you frequently, regularly, often, to see the moment with new eyes, to get the past and the future out of there, to contend with the survival instinct, to change your habitual responses, to notice where you're fearful, and to open up to the opportunity to be something other than you've been, other than is common, other than is normal even, certainly other than is usual. Even usual for you, moving out of what you have been into what you can be through where you are. Elohim worked with you intensely over this last 3 weeks period about this new tool that they're calling the notebook tool. The opportunity to monitor every thought you have. To know that each and every thought going through your mind at any time is an option. To know that allowing a thought that you know is low vibrational, that you know is something only habitual, that you know is only busy noise to keep you from actually experiencing what's really going on. Knowing fully that that is a choice you are making. And Elohim's been empowering you to make other choices, to give you an opportunity to see a new way. And we imagine from the folks we've had communication with, and certainly through the work we've done with Veronica, this is something that's kind of rocking the boat. The idea that every thought must be examined. Every single one. Quarantined. Captured. Studied. And then other layers of thought seems to be popping up. For Veronica, maybe for some of you, it's old thoughts. The other day she found herself wondering what her coworkers at a job she had 24 years ago thought of her. You see, when there's nothing else to think about, the mind scrambles. The nice thing is it starts to think about things that are utterly ridiculous, which makes it even easier to catch them. Even easier to point your fingers and say, no, 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 no. You don't get to play with me today. You don't get to cause me to skip this unique moment, to go back to something that, one, I have no interest in being there in the first place, and I certainly don't want to do it again after 2.5 decades of time has elapsed. We don't know where the rest of you have found things cropping up, but we imagine they come in kind of packages. Old thoughts about ex-lovers, old thoughts about old jobs, old thoughts about previous houses you used to live in, or cars you used to drive, or shoes you used to wear. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we suspect this will be common. That all of a sudden you'll find yourself, because you're not obsessively worrying about whatever it was you used to obsessively worry about, the habit of having extraneous thinking be the background noise for your incarnation is going to be experienced in different ways. So if you shut up about money, or you shut up about boyfriend or girlfriend, then what fills the spot? And of course, what we want to have fill the spot is insight from your soul. The aha. Or at the very, very, very least, wow, that tree sure is bumpy. Or my shoes sure feel comfy. You pick. What we want you to fill the space with is now. Whether that's insight from your soul or awareness through your body, we don't care. So long as it's not obsessive thinking. Especially obsessive thinking about the past. Ooh. Or obsessive worry about the future. Pretty much if it's obsessive, it's not helpful. You're so accustomed to the background noise of life. The busy mind. the judgments, the gossipy energetic. What's really going on over there, right? The storytelling. You're so used to having those things be the broadcast. It's as if the TVs or the radio is on that channel, right? And let's say all of a sudden you stop getting the judgment channel. Okay, then it switches over to the next one. And then you cancel that channel too, right? Like you call up the cable company, you say, I don't want that channel anymore. I don't want that channel either. I don't want that channel either. Well, the quieter channels pop up, but they're easier to catch. And then what happens? Eventually, very quickly actually, you get to the point. Veronica and Randy were talking earlier, and Randy mentioned something to the effect of, we're going to paraphrase, the quieter I get, the louder the world is. It's the same thing as when you've been low vibrational and all of a sudden you're high vibrational. The low vibration is glaring, right? We've taught you this. The low vibrational experiences, interactions, they're glaring. The easiest way to see this is when somebody stops smoking, all of a sudden the smell of cigarette smoke is very strong to them. Whereas before they never noticed it. Okay? You can probably feel into that example. The quieter you get, the louder the world gets. And the less interesting what they are all going on about is to you. Because it's low vibration, unconscious, for the most part. That's why we teach you to emanate an option. You have 20 people in a room and 18 of them are loud and low vibrational, 2 quiet people being high vibrational. And by quiet, we don't mean silent. We mean without static, right? Without all the bullshit. That's what makes you high vibrational, is you're not in that static of baggage and habits and obsessive thinking and judgments and nosiness and storytelling. It gives you the opportunity then. It gives you the opportunity then to emanate out into the world that the noisy, low vibrational, habitual thinking way of doing life isn't the only option available. It's not the only way to be. It is a great gift, and you give it by breathing. And you're giving it to yourself first. You can only give it if you have it. And if you have it, you've given it to yourself first. Let that stew around in you a little bit. You can only give it if you have it. But to have it, you had to have given it to yourself first. And you know how closely and emphatically you've had to watch your thinking. How closely and emphatically you've had to say, no, I will not go for familiar suffering. How closely and emphatically you had to say, I'm going to choose and choose again for transformation because I don't want to live the same life I have lived for the last 50 years. That's the gift you give yourself. That's the gift we're talking about. That's the opportunity you're presenting. You can only give it if you've got it, and you can only get it by giving it to yourself.